Hello, everyone. The biblical New Year is almost here, and many people don't even realize it. While the world celebrates January 1st, Scripture tells us something very different. The Most High already established when the year begins, and it is not in the dead of winter. Today, we are going to walk through the Scriptures and prepare ourselves properly. Let's begin. What we must understand about the biblical feasts is that the Most High set each of these feasts himself. They are connected to specific events, and each one carries significance and purpose, from the beginning of the year to the end. None of these feasts should be taken lightly. Since we are approaching the biblical New Year, which begins in the spring, March 20th, when the equinox takes place, I want to use this session as a reminder so you can prepare yourself to celebrate it properly. As stated in Deuteronomy 4:2, "Do not add to what I command you, and do not subtract from it, but keep the commands of the Lord your God that I give you." In Revelation 22:18-19, we are warned, "I warn everyone who hears the words of the prophecy of this scroll. If anyone adds anything to them, God will add to that person the plagues described in this scroll. And if anyone takes words away from this scroll of prophecy, God will take away from that person any share in the tree of life and in the holy city, which are described in this scroll." Let's begin. In Leviticus 23, the Most High gave Moses instructions about his feasts that must be celebrated every year because they are eternal ordinances. One important thing to keep in mind is that the first feast listed is the Sabbath. Verses 2-4 read, "Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my feasts. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons." The Sabbaths must be observed throughout the year. Understand that these feasts are not only for those born Israelite. Whether Israel born or not, once you make the decision to serve the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you become as homeborn. Numbers 15:14-16 reads, "And if a stranger sojourn with you, or whosoever be among you in your generations, and will offer an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord, as ye do, so he shall do. One ordinance shall be both for you of the congregation, and also for the stranger that sojourneth with you, an ordinance for ever in your generations. As ye are, so shall the stranger be before the Lord. One law and one manner shall be for you, and for the stranger that sojourneth with you." In Numbers 15, the Most High makes it clear that anyone who attaches themselves to his people must keep the same commandments. I remember years ago being taught that the door of salvation was not open to Gentiles until Cornelius in the New Testament. But this passage disproves that idea that salvation was only for the children of Israel. Yes, the Messiah came for the lost sheep of Israel and died for them. However, he never rejected those from the nations who came to him. In fact, it often appeared that the other nations were more receptive than the children of Israel. Therefore, as long as you keep the Most High's commandments, laws, and statutes, you become one of his. Let's continue. The most important thing is knowing when the year begins. Otherwise, it would be impossible to know when to celebrate or keep the feasts in accordance with Scripture. Let's discuss the beginning of the year according to Scripture. Exodus 12:1-2. "And the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you." The Most High made it clear in Exodus chapter 12, As you read further, he begins giving instructions on how they must prepare to celebrate the new year in the first month. Now let's go to Exodus 13:4-7. This day came ye out in the month Abib, and it shall be when the Lord shall bring thee into the land of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, which he sware unto thy fathers to give thee, a land flowing with milk and honey, that thou shalt keep this service in this month. 7 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, and in the 7th day shall be a feast to the Lord. Unleavened bread shall be eaten 7 days, and there shall no leavened bread be seen with thee, neither shall there be leaven seen with thee in all thy quarters. For those unfamiliar with Exodus chapters 12 and 13, this passage refers to the Passover. It was the final plague the Most High brought upon Egypt so that the children of Israel would be thrust out of the land. Before the plague, they had to follow the instructions given by the Most High so that the angel of death would pass over their homes. Any household that did not have the sign or did not follow the instructions would be visited by the angel of death. Now let's discuss the month of Aviv so you understand how it aligns with the Julian Gregorian calendar. The month of Aviv, Abib, and its significance. Another name for the month of Aviv is Nisan. Some verses mention Nisan, while others say Aviv or Abib. In Nehemiah 2:1 it is written, "In the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of King Artaxerxes, when wine was brought for him, I took the wine and gave it to the king." Exodus 23:15 states, "Celebrate the festival of unleavened bread. For 7 days eat bread made without yeast, as I commanded you. Do this at the appointed time in the month of Aviv, for in that month you came out of Egypt. No one is to appear before me empty-handed." Exodus chapter 23 clearly explains what is celebrated, how long it is observed, what is to be eaten during the 7 days, the reason for remembrance, and what is to be brought for the festival. More detailed instructions are found in Exodus chapter 12. When does Nisan begin? It begins in the spring, as stated in Scripture. The New Year's Day is marked by the first new moon closest to the spring equinox, typically around March 20th in the Gregorian calendar. This is why God instructed Moses to regard this month as the start of their calendar year. Why Nisan Aviv is the first month. Nisan Aviv is the month of Passover and unleavened bread. It marks not only the start of the year, but also a time of remembrance for God's deliverance. It is the beginning of the first season, spring, a time when nature blooms and the earth is renewed. This aligns with Israel's new beginning as they were freed from Egypt. Just as the moon renews itself monthly, the seasons cycle each year. Spring, marked by blossoming flowers and trees, reflects renewal and growth. It is fitting that Nisan is the month of the new year, alongside the observance of Passover and unleavened bread for those who uphold the Most High's commandments. Thus, Nisan/Aviv symbolizes both spiritual and natural renewal. Important note, Jubilees 49, 1-23. This is one of the most important feasts to observe at the beginning of the year. Remember, you are not to kill a lamb, as God must choose the place where it is to be eaten. See verse 21. For us today, we should keep it as a remembrance of that night. I have seen some people purchase lamb from the store, cook it, and share recipes. However, I do not recommend this practice. See verse 13. We must follow God's instructions carefully. Keep it as a memorial, nothing more. That said, we are still to eat unleavened bread for 7 days as part of the feast. Some may disagree or feel confused when I say to observe it as a memorial only. It is clearly addressed in Jubilees chapter 49. If you would like to discuss this further, feel free to join our chat room for discussion at www.forrealtalk.com. One thing we must acknowledge is that the biblical New Year is not only about celebrating the Feast of Unleavened Bread, it also serves as protection throughout the year for those who are obedient and observe it. Just as it protected the children of Israel from the angel of death in Egypt, note on preparation: unleavened bread should not be mixed with leaven. All you need is flour, salt, and water, baked or fried. It may be eaten with bitter herbs, and for drink, I suggest water. I will continue teaching on the remaining feasts and explain them in detail so that you may understand them clearly.